Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. What you're about to hear is the verbatim federal courtroom testimony from Day 5 of the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs, as reported by Inner City Press. For the first time, Cassie Ventura gave disturbing, detailed testimony about what she allegedly witnessed beneath Diddy's estate, in hidden underground tunnels. This wasn't about stardom or a volatile relationship. This was something far more sinister. She spoke under oath, describing secret chambers, drugs, and women in masks. Some statements were censored to meet platform guidelines, but the core of her testimony remains untouched. What Cassie revealed under cross-examination on Day 5 stunned the entire courtroom, and may hold the key to unraveling one of the most disturbing celebrity trials in memory. What lies beneath Diddy's empire might now be exposed. The day began with unease. Reporters arrived early. The public gallery was packed shoulder to shoulder. Even the jury looked tense. A kind of heaviness filled the air. Everyone knew what was coming. Cassie Ventura was coming back to the stand. The previous days had been emotional, but routine. Today promised something else entirely. Something darker. Something hidden. Cassie entered the courtroom quietly, escorted by security. She looked exhausted yet composed. The judge reiterated that courtroom behavior would be strictly monitored. Then the defense began their questioning and immediately changed course. Gone were the relationship questions. Instead, they asked Cassie to describe Diddy's Los Angeles mansion, its architecture, layout, and security systems. The questions seemed oddly specific, even clinical, until one shifted the mood completely. "Miss Ventura, have you ever been beneath the property into the tunnel?" A hush fell. The prosecution objected. The judge overruled. Cassie paused, then said one word. Yes. That one word changed the courtroom. For months, people whispered. Reddit threads, gossip, late night, comedy segments, underground tunnels, wild speculation, but no confirmation. Not until now. The defense leaned forward. "And what exactly did you see down there?" Cassie inhaled. "I didn't want to go," she said. "He told me to follow. Said he had something to show me. He was high. I was confused. But I followed." She described the entrance, not from inside, but outside the mansion, hidden under leaves near the pool. Yeah, a disguised hatch, concrete stairs, steel doors, a descending chill, and then it got darker. She wouldn't elaborate at first, but everyone knew something was coming. Cassie's voice was steady, almost too steady, as if she'd played this moment in her head 1,000 times. The stairs led to a cold corridor, bare walls, fluorescent lights, a mechanical hum in the air. It didn't feel like a house anymore. It felt like an institution. The hall twisted, windowless. No signal. She walked behind Diddy. He mumbled to himself, "I need to prove a point." She thought of turning back, but didn't. He had that look, the look that said, "Don't argue." Then a keypad. Then a heavy door. Inside was a room, a large one. Red lights, cameras mounted in the corners, leather furniture, a strange smell, chemicals, sweat, something else. It wasn't for pleasure, she said. It wasn't for rest. It felt built for something else. She listed details. Shelves lined with latex outfits, ropes, oils, props, a rack of unworn clothes, ceiling mirrors, floors mirrored too. Walls were padded, soundproofed. It wasn't fantasy. It was something colder. It felt like power. It felt like control. The defense pressed. "Had you seen anyone else there?" Cassie hesitated, then said, "Yes. 2 women. One lying still, one near a camera. They wore wigs and masks," she said. "They didn't speak. They barely moved. He called them performers. I wasn't introduced." When asked how long she stayed, "Not long." She claimed she made an excuse. "I felt sick." Back upstairs, she locked herself in the bedroom. But Diddy followed. "You didn't see anything," he told her. "You don't repeat anything. That place is for me, not you. She never went back, but she never forgot. Later, asked to detail, the tunnel, Cassie revealed. There were more rooms. One had no lights, just chains. One had a mirror and digital screen. Another, just wires and a chair. That's when I told him I wanted to leave, she said. He laughed. You're not ready. It's too real for you. But before the final door, he whispered, this is where I bring the ones I own. Cassie described hearing muffled voices. Not music, but distorted sound. She realized they were voices. She didn't want to know more. I left shaking. My clothes smelled like the place. The scent didn't wash off. She told no one, not friends, not family. I didn't want to disappear, she said. It felt like if I told anyone, I'd vanish, like those girls in the room. When asked why she was speaking now, her voice wavered. Because he's still doing it. Because it's not just about me anymore. If someone ends up down there and doesn't come back, she trailed off. The judge called a recess, but no one moved. Because what had just been said was more than testimony. It was a warning. When court resumed, questioning shifted to what happened above the tunnels, but it wasn't any less disturbing. The term freak-off surfaced again, previously found in playful texts, but now something else entirely. Cassie was asked, "Can you define a freak-off?" Her answer stunned the room. It was planned, every time, always sexual, sometimes with strangers, sometimes filmed, always assigned roles. Drugs, she said, were often required. Messages were shown, game starts at 10 p.m., no breaking character until 8 a.m. Another, bring candles, wear a wig. This wasn't occasional, it was routine, twice a month at least. Sometimes spontaneous, sometimes scheduled, like a business meeting. Cassie admitted that at times she agreed, but clarified, agreeing while high is not consent. Sometimes she didn't even remember what happened. The prosecution then asked, "Did any of these events happen in the tunnel?" Cassie swallowed. "Yes," she said. And the court leaned in. She described one particular night. "I wore a latex suit. I wasn't allowed to speak. He said I'd be punished if I broke character. There were strangers. She wasn't told. Their names. He said to trust him. A message was presented. This time I want control. No safe word." Cassie said she no longer felt in control of her own body. Afterward, I felt hollow, like I didn't know who I was. She deleted videos, deleted photos, not out of shame, but fear. Fear that if she talked, she'd lose more, or worse. She later woke up on a floor in Miami, camera lights still on. Cassie testified that the drugs came from Diddy or his staff. He said they'd help me relax. They made me foggy, obedient. She listed substances, opiates, MDMA, benzos, weed, but mostly unidentified pills. One night she woke up drenched in sweat. No memory, just the camera light burning. "I think he recorded everything," she said. "He once showed me a video. It was me, with 2 men. I didn't remember it." She begged him to delete it. He told me, "I keep everything, for leverage." Control, she said, extended beyond the bedroom. Miss a call, and he'd call 50 more. Miss a text, he'd threaten her. She suspected he told others not to give her pills, cutting her off from outside sources. He made sure I was dependent. Once she tried rehab, a luxury one disguised as a spa. He found out, showed up, told them I was being dramatic. She checked out the next day. I tried to quit. I really did, but I couldn't, not with him still around. Was she the only one? No, she said. Not even close. There were others. During freak-offs, women in masks, escorts, strangers, even celebrities. Some arrived crying. Some were masked. I was too scared to ask who they were. She named Tiffany Red, a former friend. "She was at my 29th birthday. She saw things, told me it wasn't okay. I didn't listen." The prosecution referenced a letter Tiffany later wrote, published in Rolling Stone. She tried to speak out. Was silenced. Then came the staff. His assistants knew. They arranged everything, scheduled arrivals, cleaned up. One day, Cassie realized she had no privacy left. An assistant walked in on us once, didn't even flinch, just said, "Sorry, boss." When the defense argued this proved nothing criminal, Cassie replied, "It wasn't about sex, it was about control, obedience, power." And when asked finally why she didn't go to police, her answer hit hard. "Because I didn't think anyone would believe me. He had power, I didn't." Then she dropped a bombshell. "He threw me off a boat in the Caribbean, called me dead weight." She swam to shore and still went back. A juror looked shaken. The judge called for a break. But the courtroom didn't breathe, because now the abuse wasn't symbolic. It was bruises, it was blood, and it was real. When they returned, the prosecution asked about one last night, the Intercontinental. The night that changed everything.